I'm Nate, and I'm going to show you a build that I put together, which combines our new garden scatter pieces with our Starforged SciFi pieces. Combining sets across biomes and themes can lead to some exciting and even unexpected visual storytelling. Do we accomplish that with this build? Well, let's dive in and find out. All right, so this is a 2-foot by 2-foot build. The base is 4 of our red planet terrain trays on top of some battle boards. The core of this build is using the Starforged Alpha Core pieces for the framework, and then we have copious amounts of the catwalks and pipelines in here to tie it all together. And then we're using our new greenery, our new garden scatter bits to pop a bunch of bits of color in here and give it some life. So the story hook is, this is like a hydroponic grow room on an alien planet. They've been doing some experiments or whatnot. They stopped sending samples and experiments, and then now they've just gone completely dark. We've lost all contact with them. So players have to go investigate, find out what's going on, and bring back some samples of all of the bioforms or whatever they're working on. So we're starting our entrance area here, which is a simple hallway. So somewhere for the players to stage their minis before they pop in. That way we pop in through the main door and enter the lab proper. So it's one big old room with some different zones. Starting right up in the front here, we're using 4 capsule beds to create little grow pods for, we have the viscolids popped in here. So we have the viscolid sits in there really nicely. It looks like these little controlled growing pods. They're using the same gag back here. We're using the wild wolfsbane back here. So we have 2 different types of plants, 2 different spots of color, and those are fed by they're fed by the pipelines to make it's all attached to one big apparatus. And you can kind of put these are really fun as any sort of MacGuffin holders here. And then tending them, we have a little droid unit here using the energy and the mechanical arm. And maybe those go haywire and attack when the players first roll in. It can give them a really simple, fun little combat, keep things a little dramatic right out of the gate. There's no sign of any of the scientists. The other area up front, this is a little raised garden bed zone. So we're just taking a pair of the trapdoor floors and then surrounding them with, these are the little short steps put up on end to create like a raised garden bed. And then we have our rows of hydrangeas in here, all lined up, nice little contained zone. Behind them, we've got our fruit trees. We're using, because they are pull accessories, we're just popping them into the energy unit inverted. So the legs are up and it looks like a little contained pot. And those are connected with once again, a little piece of pipeline. So we have both varieties of trees there. Feeding up the middle with this raised catwalk area. And the idea here was trying to get some different elevation. So if a firefight or when a firefight breaks out, we've got, so the floor is pretty cluttered and there's a lot of sort of interesting line of sight blocking and that is you got some clear lines up here, but now you're exposed and vulnerable because there's no cover up here. So it should give some tactical choices to the players. So a big fun pipeline going up, or catwalks are coming up here and feeding down with the ramps. And then on either side, we're using the little sort of the steel corbel piece to as a port for the pull accessory flowers. So pop on either side. So we have a nice row of flowers, sort of like a promenade leading to at the end. Beneath them in the back, we have kind of 2 chambers that are very much the same. So it's double high using the accessory walls stacked on top of each other, inverted, and then pop the rose bushes against them because they have a nice flat spot. For the upper ones, I just put a little dab of white stick and just stuck them in there so they would look like one continuous creeping rose bush going up. And kind of a fun, if the players have to collect samples for all this stuff, it's kind of forcing players to go all the way back into that kind of like, maybe it's a creepy dome in there because we got the domes in the back. Who knows what's going on? You could have, maybe there's like these plants have been mutated or whatever, and they could be carnivorous or something, or, poisonous spines or pollen or whatnot. Each could have like kind of terrible effects if you wanted to. Then above these, we're using the cockpits up here to create like little greenhouse zones for our planters. And so this is the best vantage point in the whole room, right? Big open spot. You kind of see the whole kit caboodle. Good spot for your sniper if a fight is going to break out. And then in the far side of the room here, we have the grass banks. So just 4 grass banks in a circle to create a little spot to put a sorrow nest. So off to the side, we have the sorrow nest bulb pods here, like on the inverted capsule bed. Maybe those are specimens being the works. And we've got the same one with little droids, automated droids picking it up. And this could be the thing where science has gone terribly wrong. Maybe it's a mutant plant, or maybe it's an alien plant or something, but perhaps this is the source of why nobody's reported back in. They've all either gone mad or been devoured or whatnot. And you could, maybe these guys are kicking out pollen, and then this has got some sort of crazy mind control, or it's sentient or it chases around. But this should be the genesis of what's going to maybe cause a fight in this room. But what was really fun with this build was trying to take all these organic bits, working in the organic bits and the splash of color into the somewhat drab Starforged base. So it was really, really fun to be able to use these plants and try and figure out how do we justify getting all these plants into a kind of a hard metal science-based build. So definitely fun to put together, and might give you some ideas on how you could use these plants in your game.
So hopefully this will have inspired you with some of the many ways that our pieces can be combined to create whatever build your story needs. If you want to learn more about our Cities collection or our Starforged collection, take a look at the playlists that are linked in the description below. And if you still have questions, hop into our Discord, where we have an amazing community who would love to give you some guidance. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Think about subscribing. It really helps us a lot. Thank you so much for watching. And now, it's back to the anvil. Get me out of here.